Be warned, this video will contain spoilers. Based on the promos leading up to the episode, it seemed like we were gearing up for a life-or-death scenario involving Joe or Lucas. But Grey's Anatomy took a different, and frankly smarter, route by giving Joe a medical scare that, while still serious, avoids unnecessary melodrama. This choice allows the episode to focus on what really matters, her relationships with Linc and Bailey. With Meredith largely absent, Bailey has fully stepped into the role of the show's emotional core, and this episode highlights just how essential she is. Joe's storyline also delivered some of the funniest moments of the episode, thanks in large part to her sheer exasperation with Marcus. If he sticks around, he could bring a much-needed fresh dynamic to the hospital. Meanwhile, Lucas' handling of the robbery aftermath is approached with just the right balance. He pushes through, as expected, but the episode carves out space for small but significant moments between him, Ben, and Amelia. There's a clear opportunity for the show to draw parallels to the traumatic robbery Amelia and Derek experienced as kids, an event that shaped Amelia's entire life, but Grey's Anatomy wisely doesn't overplay it. Instead, it acknowledges the connection without forcing it, making it a great example of how the series rewards longtime viewers while keeping newer ones engaged. The real tension in the episode comes from the surgeries, particularly those involving Amelia and Winston's patient and the robber. But as always, it's less about the procedures themselves and more about the interpersonal dynamics of the doctors performing them. Winston and Amelia continue to demonstrate why they absolutely should not be working together, and Jules finds herself making a critical mistake because she's too preoccupied with Mika. That said, as strong as parts of this episode are, it's impossible to ignore the frustratingly repetitive patterns the show keeps falling into, especially with Teddy and Owen. Their relationship has been in turmoil for what feels like forever, and it's getting harder to root for them. As someone who actually liked them from the start, it's disappointing to see them stuck in a cycle of conflict with no real progress. Teddy treating Owen more like an employee than a partner, and Owen continuing to emotionally detach while keeping secrets, is exhausting at this point. In contrast, Bailey and Ben remain a stellar example of a well-balanced relationship. They enhance each other's individual struggles rather than overshadowing them. Even Joe and Linc, who have had their fair share of communication problems, make significant strides in this episode. There's an effort to show them moving toward stability, and it's refreshing. With a show that's been running as long as Grey's Anatomy, it's expected that characters will regress at times. There's only so much organic growth before arcs start feeling repetitive. But with an entirely new intern class bringing in plenty of fresh drama, it would be a welcome change to see some of the legacy characters get a breather. Instead of constantly putting them through emotional turmoil, why not take the opportunity to remind viewers why they were compelling in the first place? What do you think? Is Grey's Anatomy handling its long-running characters well? Or do you think Teddy and Owen's dynamic has run its course? And how do you feel about Joe's storyline taking a less dramatic turn? Let's talk about it in the comments.